PHP Slim 4 Authentication Lesson 26. We are going to finalize our reset password or forgot password by sending a unique reset link to the user as an email. So to get started, we need to first create a new migration. So I'm going to do PHP Slim. We're going to say make migration. We're going to say reset or create reset passwords table. Now once that runs, that's going to create a new migration called create reset passwords table. Before we go on, I want to show you guys something. You guys can do everything. You have all the knowledge at this point to add all these classes. But if you want to pull down the latest version of our Slim 4 authentication authorized Slim 4 repo, I added a whole bunch of generator commands. So within our Slim app, we now have access to PHP Slim make command, make controller, make factory, make middleware, make migration, make model, make provider, make request, and make seeder. I didn't want to add that to a tutorial because honestly it was just kind of tedious and annoying. But if you want to pull down the branch, we do have those. All those look like is they extend to make scaffold command. Then it just says the scaffold, stub file, replace file, content, etc., put path, content. If the file already exists, then it won't create it. Otherwise, it will create it. So if and another thing you can do is you can do PHP Slim, and you can take a look at all of our scaffold commands. The config options for all of those are right here. Config stubs. Command, it says the file, what we want to replace. The file name, we want to replace stub with PHP. So if we go to resources, stubs, we have all these stubs. And it just says, okay, what do we want to replace? And then within config stubs, we define the file, the content file, so file get contents from the path to the given stub, where we want to make the file, the make path, and then within the file name, we want to replace stub with PHP. We want to replace dummy file middleware with the input name. So this is actually the input argument. So for make middleware command, we have a name argument. So to say, hey, we want to replace it with whatever the name argument is, we just do :name : and this actually says, okay, get the console input argument of name, arguments name, and replace the file dummy file middleware, again, dummy file middleware, with the input argument. The content is actually within the file, and it's the same logic. We have dummy namespace, dummy class, and then just all the scaffolded data. Within stubs, we just say, okay, replace the dummy file with the input argument name, replace the dummy class with the input argument name, replace the dummy namespace with our default middleware namespace. So we now have make middleware, make provider, make model, make controller, make factory, make command, and make request. Just some pretty helpful stuff if you want to pull in master and set those up. It's actually really helpful. So okay, so now that we have that out of the way, let's do this. We're going to do PHP Slim make model reset password. Okay, then within our app, we now have this reset password. We want to add a key and a user ID. Just like that. Okay. Once that is set up, we also have, so we have our migrations now, and we have our reset password. So what we want to do is we're just going to copy this table right here and copy this over to our create reset password. That's going to be table equals this reset passwords. That's going to be key, and then we're going to add the limit to 250 on that. Then we're going to say user ID, add timestamps, create. All right, so once that is added, we can actually do PHP Slim db migrate. And then when we migrate, we can now go into MySQL, use Slim, show tables, and we will have a reset passwords table. Good to go. Okay, so we're going to clear this out now. And now we're going to go to our controllers, auth, reset password controller. So within our reset password controller, we're going to need to do a few things. So first, we're going to need to create a store request password request. So we're going to do PHP Slim make request store reset password request. All right. So what that will do, that will add a new store request password right here. And then within our reset password request, we want to add our rules to start with. And all we're going to say is that the email is required, and it is an email, and it has to exist within our users table in the email column. Next, we're going to do messages, and we're going to do email.required. We're going to do email is required. Then we're going to do email.email. Email must be an email. And of course, email.exists. And then we're going to do email does not exist. All right. After that, we're going to go back to our reset password, and we're going to do store, and then it's going to be reset password request, or here, we'll go down here and do it. We're going to do store reset password request, just like that. And then we're going to do request input. All right. Then we're going to do if input fails, then return back. And that's actually going to be if input failed. So we're just using our form request class to check if the input failed. If it did, we're automatically going to return the user back. Behind the scenes, this will add the errors to the session if it fails. All right, next we need to get our mailable. And we need to do mailable, and then we're just going to do mail. Okay, so 1, if input validation fails, redirect user back to password reset form. Did that. 2 is we need to create a unique key. So here's how we're going to do that. We're going to import Carbon, which is a PHP time date library. We're going to say now equals Carbon now. After that, we're going to say the URL is going to equal the app URL defined in our configuration. Then we're going to say user where email equals the input email, and then first. And that needs to be user, just like that. And we're going to say user equals that. After that, we're going to say user ID equals user ID. And then we're going to say the unique reset password key is going to be the SHA-1 encrypted user email plus the user password plus the now timestamp. Then we're going to say reset password create, and then we're going to say key is going to be the key, and then we're going to say user ID is going to be the user ID. Because that's just an associative array, we can replace that with compact key user ID. Just like that. And of course, we need to import our reset password. All right. So now we are properly creating our reset password. We're persisting it to the database. create a new unique reset password key, persist or store that unique password key to the database with a relationship to our user. So with a relationship to our user. So the reason we're saving user ID is so that we can go to our reset password and we can do public function user, and we can do return this belongs to user class. Just like that. Alright. So now back in our reset password, we need to remove this because now we have the relationship to our user, and then we need to create our mailable. So we're going to say mail to user email, user first name, and then we're going to say from admin at slim.auth, and then we're going to do admin or slim authentication. Then we're going to generate our view, which is going to be mail.auth.reset. We're going to compact our URL, but it's actually going to be a little bit longer than just that URL. We're going to say URL, and then it's going to be URL/reset password/key. Just like that. And then we're going to simply say our mail subject is going to be reset your password, reset your password. And then we're going to send it. Okay, so email user the reset password link, and then we need to return, redirect, and then reset password confirm. Now remember, reset password/confirm, that just sends the user to a confirmation page letting them know that we properly sent the reset password email. Okay, so once that is all done, we need to go back and we need to actually add our new request, which is going to be the store reset password request, to our HTTP kernel requests. So to do that, we're just going to go to HTTP kernel request, and then we're going to go store reset password request class. Just like that. And then we can, of course, get rid of that import and la. Alright. Next, what do we need to do? Well, let's test out and make sure that we're getting that far. So we're going to do a composer dump autoload. And then before that, we're going to do PHP slim view clear. Alright, then we're going to go back to our slim auth. And we're just going to go to the home page. We're going to go to login. From login, we're just going to say, hey, forgot my password. And whoops, must implement interface, response interface. Null given. Have our view imported? We do. We're not returning right here. That'll always do it. And so when we weren't returning, we were getting this error that the invoke must implement interface, response interface. Well, that's the controller. The controller invoker actually calls the controller method. And because we weren't returning, we weren't technically implementing the required return type of response interface. So now if we reload that, there we go. All right, so next I'm actually going to start by registering a new user. So I'm going to say Zach at test, or we'll just say example at test.com first last secret example at test.com first last secret. Submit that. Email must be an email, and first last secret. All right, So now they are registered. Now I'm going to log out. I'm going to go to forgot password, and I'm going to just paste that in, example@test.com. I'm going to say send reset password link and query exception. Okay, so Slim reset passwords does not exist. So why is that? So let's do this. Let's go MySQL, use Slim, show tables, and what do we got? Reset password. Ooh. Migrations, reset. That's a dumb. And then I'm going to recreate the database that we call Slim. I go out of there. I'm going to do PHP Slim DB migrate. I'm going to do PHP Slim DB seed. We're going to use MySQL. We're going to use Slim from MySQL. Then we're going to show our tables. Okay, that works. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to do PHP Slim DB seed, and then we're just going to say PHP Slim DB show users. Now I'm going to get a user that we just seeded. So let's go with this guy right here. Ooh, yahoo.com. We'll go Hotmail. So we're going to copy that email address. If you remember, all of our factories, they're all secret. So all the passwords will all be secret. Alright, so let's reload that one more time. We don't want to submit it. We just want to reload it. We're going to say this is our email address. There we go. Now reset password link sent. Link to reset your password successfully sent. Check your email for next steps. Well, go to the email, reload this. Here is reset your password, and then we can click here to view the link. There's our unique reset password. Now we need to say, okay, now I'm going to call this secret_password, secret_password. But before we can actually submit that, we need to go back to our reset password controller, and we need to go right here. So here's what we need to do. First, we need to actually create our update reset password request. So we're going to say clear PHP Slim, and then we're going to do make request update reset password request, just like that. That's going to scaffold that out. Do update reset password request. We'll add that to our kernel real quick. Do request and then class. Alright. After that, we need to actually add the validation for this part. And so this is going to be this. It's going to have a password, and then we want to say required with confirm password, and it's going to be the same as confirm password, and it has to have a minimum of 5. Then we're going to say confirm password, and then that is going to be a string which is required, and then I'm just going to copy these validation rules in right here, just like that. Okay, so with that set up, we can now go back to our reset password controller. We do update reset password request and import that. Okay, so first what we need to do is we need to do if input failed, return back. If validation failed, return back to reset password form. Okay, sweet. Next we need to find the persisted reset key within the database. So this is going to be reset, and we're going to say reset password. We're going to say where key is key. And we're going to say first. And we're going to say user equals reset user. Remember, on our reset password model, we have a relationship to the user. So within a reset password, we can get the user from our reset password. After that, we can say user password is going to equal SHA-1 and then input password. So we're just going to encrypt our user password. And then we're going to say input, I guess that works. So we're just updating the user password by encrypting the password that we just gave through the input. After that, we're going to say successful and then user saved. So did we successfully save the user? Let's find out. If successful, then reset where key. We're going to do reset password where key is key. And we're going to say each reset. Then we're going to say reset delete. Then we're going to return a redirect to /login. So what we're saying is if we successfully saved or updated the user password, we're going to say reset password where key is key for each one that we have created, loop through it and delete them all. We don't need that key anymore. Else, or we don't even need an else because we return in that if statement. Okay, so find the persisted key, get the user related to the key within the database, update the user with the new password given all validation passes. If successfully updated the user, delete and redirect back to login. Otherwise, if we did not successfully update the user password, flash errors. We're going to do session flash set errors. And we're going to do was not able to successfully reset user password. And then if we get to this point, it's actually going to be for unknown reasons. Which we shouldn't get to this point, but if we do, you know, still want to give them something. Then we're going to say return back. All right. So after that, we're just going to say PHP slim view clear and composer dump autoload. We're going to reload that. And then I'm just going to do a Command Shift R here. And then we're just going to say secret underscore password, secret underscore password, reset password, got redirected to log in. So now if we go back and get this guy, which was Kittle@Hotmail, you can add that, and then I'm going to say secret underscore password and log in, And of course, if we were to log out and we did that one more time and we tried to do secret, it will deny us from entering, right? Oh, not quite. So secret still works. So honestly, this is, I think this was an error we actually created during refactoring. But here's what's going on. Within our login controller, we're saying auth attempt to log in with this email and this password. Auth attempt has the validator. It says password required, but it has to exist within the users as password. And then we're saying the email is required, but it has to exist in the users table on the email column. So here's the problem. We're not saying the password has to exist on the users table within the password column on the same row as this email. We're just saying if any password with secret exists, and then it will pass. It doesn't have to line up with this email. That's a big, big problem. So if we go up here, all of these E5s, here's all of our secrets, right? The only password that is not using secret right now is this K little, and that's using secret underscore password. But because we're checking, and again, these are the encrypted secret and encrypted secret underscore password. But because we're checking to see if the user password exists on the table, well, it does. and it does almost 39 times. In fact, the only time it doesn't exist is password confirm, or sorry, secret underscore password. So what do? Well, check this out. Laravel validators allow you to do this really cool thing where you can add your custom rule. So we're going to just do that. Password exists with email. We're going to say function. We're going to say value attribute, and then we're going to say rule. And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to Laravel validation, and we just want to copy attribute value fail. Just like that. And so what we're going to do is we're going to do password exists with email. It's going to be a callback function. Then we're going to say use email and use password. Next, we're going to say user where, and then we're just going to compact the email and the password. And we're going to say exists. And we're just going to say exist equals that. So user where the email is the email and the password is the password exists. If it does not exist, then we want to fail and say attribute is invalid. Password does not line up with the given email. Just like that. Then we can remove that, and we can remove that. We're simply going to say, okay, semicolon that out. After that, we are going to just say password. We're going to say required. We're going to keep this exists user's password, and then we're going to actually refactor this, and instead of using pipes like that, we're going to use an array. And then the last item in the array is just going to be password exists with email. Just like that. Then all we need to do is reload our page and try again. So this should do the job. So now if we go back to Slim4 authentication, we go and we use this K email like that, and now if we try secret, it should fail on us. Password is invalid. Password does not line up with the given email. So now we are good to go. The only other thing I want to do is I want to do string upper, or let's just do upper first attribute, uppercase first. We're just going to do attribute equals uppercase first attribute, la-di-da, is invalid, doesn't line up with provided email. Just like that. Only need it in the login, so I'm not going to make it a big deal to go and refactor all this or anything like that. But, and then right there, it looks like we have user first. Now we should be good to go. So now if we do secret underscore password, it should work. There we go. And of course, if we went back and we did this K email, click tell, and then we did secret, we're denied. But with our update password, secret password, we get in. And then one last time for good faith, if we want to go forgot password and we want to reset this password one more time, send reset link. Then we go here, we reload this, reset your password, and then we're going to say click here to view. I'm just going to do updated secret password, copy that, paste that in, reset password, and then of course if we went back here and we did this right here and we tried secret confirm or confirm secret, I can't remember what the last password was. There we go. And then if we do secret And then we do blah, 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 password, secret password, secret underscore password was the other one. Just like that. All that is good. And then as soon as we paste in our updated secret password, it will let us in. So there we go, guys. That's how you reset a password via email in Slim 4. Thanks for watching. This is Zachary Warren, Clean Code Studio, Clean Code, Clean Life, Simplify. If you liked, learn something new, or you're just kind of intrigued by this whole process with Slim 4 and, emails and authentication in PHP, give this thing a like and subscribe, and we'll keep them coming. Till next time, guys.
Simple.